Morgan, it's always a pleasure to see you. And Invictus is quite a nice occasion because you portrayed a man I know you admire a lot.
A lot.
How much do you have to know about the life of a man when you're portraying just a window of his presidency?
I'm not quite sure you have to know that much about the life of him, although all of us do. I mean, he's one of those historical individuals that we all know about him. So that's easier answered. In order to play him, I don't know how much you have to know about him to play him. You have to know how he walks, how he talks. Yeah. It helps to know how he thinks. And by that, I mean, you're not going to be watching, you know, wheels turn in his head, but you'll know how to portray the process. In other words, am I making sense here?
Yes, and the body language and
yes,
the elocution, all of it was essential to it.
Precisely, you do understand. So those things are very important. What he sounds like, how he talks, how he walks, you know. I learned from John Carlin that he has this sphinx-like attitude when he's listening. He doesn't react to what you're saying. You see, you're nodding and smiling. And,
he reacts internally.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, he goes very still, and he watches, and he's listening very thoroughly, but he doesn't make any comments. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't do anything. So you don't know he's listening to you until he answers. You know.
Is that something that happened, if or when you met him?
No, because I didn't sit and talk at him.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't have a lot to say when I met him. I don't know if you've met any of these very, very world-renowned people, but what do you do if you meet somebody like that?
Well, Nelson Mandela in particular, I think I'd be petrified myself.
You say, I'm very pleased to meet you, and then you shut up. Because what are you going to say, you know? So, Mr. Mandela, tell me about the time you spent in prison. Duh, you know.
How can you interview him? I mean,
right.
Where do you start?
Where do you start? What do you talk about that makes any sense? You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
I enjoy the fact that the movie captured the fact that sports can inspire and change people in a much deeper way than the fluff of what we see on television. Is that what you felt as well when, you know, the story was unveiled?
Yes, and we must remember that this is a one-off situation. It's one very important situation where a leader felt that if he could manage to get his country behind a sporting event, it would benefit them all. And he felt that, and he stuck with that right through. And he was alone in that. You know?
And determined. It's quite impressive.
Well, that's what makes Nelson Mandela. He's a determined person.
Well, the admiration that you and we all have for Mr. Mandela, would that mean that if you do get an Oscar nomination for this role in particular, would it mean more because of who you portrayed?
No, I don't know. I don't think getting a nomination has much to do with who you're portraying. You know, that's always about how you portrayed. You know, how well you did your job. We're not really thinking. We know we're fairly certain we're going to get a nomination because they're going to nominate 10 pictures. So it's hard to think that this one won't fall in there somewhere. But no, I don't think that subject matter has that much to do with it in this case.
Final question, the emotion you felt when you did win an Oscar?
Finally. That was my 4th nomination, you know.
It's true, and it was quite rightfully so, finally deserved. Thank you so much.
Thank you.